Hello my friends, welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday for Tuesday, March 19th, 2019. This is Jennifer. It may be a chorus of dogs here today because my neighbor's dogs have been barking constantly while I've been putting my quilt up, so let's see what happens. I did want to share with you guys that I did finish the 2019 Jelly Roll Swap quilt that I designed, which I have named Clover all over. You can find the free pattern on So Hooked. I posted it on Friday, and I am working on 2 smaller versions of this, possibly 3, so that I can do those as demos for the Linus Connection in April. I'm planning on doing one that's 4 blocks that has a border, 3 blocks by 3 blocks, and possibly 3 by 4 blocks. So hopefully by Linus next month I will have 3 versions of this made that are smaller to share with the Linus volunteers. And if you're a Linus volunteer and you want to make a sample for me, please drop me an email because that would be a huge help. Also, if you want to make a block and just mail it to me, it can just be a 1 block. As long as I get it at the, say, first week of April, I can incorporate it into a quilt for the Linus Connection, which would be super cool. So a little bit about this quilt, though you guys probably don't need a reminder since it's all I've been talking about for the last couple weeks. This was designed for the 2019 Talk to Me Tuesday Jelly Roll Swap, which was the swap that we did where we all made our own jelly rolls from our stash. Everyone mailed them to me. I sorted them out, mailed them back out to everyone. I used all of my jelly roll. I had maybe 8 or 10 2.5-inch squares left, and that's all I had left. I used all of it. I used everyone's fabric, which is really what I wanted to have in here. I also plundered my neutral fabrics and used about 15 or 20 fat quarters. Some of them were partial, so I needed a few more extras of just to make the background. So all of the colored pieces, except for the teal, came from my swap. All of the little cornerstones came from the swap. The blocks that I had left over, there were 3 of these like 14-inch blocks. Those are on the back of the quilt, which I'll show you guys in a minute. Guys, I love this quilt so much. I finished it in like 2 weeks. I strip cut all of my background pieces on my AccuQuilt and then got all my pieces cut out. I had every piece cut out before I started working on the blocks, which is how I finished it so fast. I chain pieced everything. Absolutely everything chain pieced. I chain pieced all the 4 patches at once. I just kept my fabric organized so that I could find what colors went with what, and I just pieced like a maniac for a few days, and I got this whole thing made. The whole top was made in a few days. I got the back made in like an afternoon, and then I got it all quilted last week. The quilting I did on my quilt frame with my Qnique, which is a 15-inch mid-arm made by Grace. I did what I'm calling free motion fans. That might actually be a thing already. I couldn't find a tutorial for it anywhere. I like the Baptist fan quilt pattern, but it's usually made with a ruler or a template, and I didn't want to do that, so I just kept sketching it until I figured out a way to make it flow. I hit a couple of bumps where my cord on the back of my machine hung on a box underneath my frame, which I have now removed so that it won't do that again. So I have a couple of little places where the line isn't quite perfect, but this quilt is for me, and I'm okay with that, especially since I normally practice my free motion quilting on a Linus quilt first, and I did not do that this time. I just doodled it a lot, and then I just went for it. So I will show you a little bit more close-up of the fan at the end of the video, and I definitely want to show you the back. So I'm going to pause and show you the back. So as you can see, the back is just as awesome as the front. I did use my extra blocks and my mistake block, which is here. I put those on the back along with all the fabrics I showed you last week in my Talk to Me Tuesday. These are all basically text-based prints. So like I have the fabric that says moo all over, and I have some that has some like cocktails and stuff on it, and I have some newsprint, just some different stuff. Piece the whole back because I, again, am on a fabric diet, trying to use as much fabric as I can. And I'm trying to see, it's hard because of the sunlight, but I don't know if you can see it from here, but down in this corner over here, I think it's this corner over here, is where my label is. This is actually sideways because my fence is not tall enough. I had a great time making this. I'm so happy with it. I love having a quilt that has fabrics from so many of my wonderful Talk to Me Tuesday friends, and this quilt is going directly on my bed because that's how I break in a new quilt. I'm really excited to get to snuggle underneath all of the love that is shared by all of my wonderful Talk to Me Tuesday friends. Speaking of Talk to Me Tuesday, I want to remind you guys that April is our 10th anniversary and that there is a post you can link to. It's in the description. Just click on that, check out the information about our post. If you used to post Talk to Me Tuesday videos and you want to again, we'd love to have you back. If you never have and you would like to join us, we would love to have you. This is just an awesome group of crafty friends. Most of us met online, not all of us did, but most of us met online, and this is how we talk to each other every week. We do show and tell, and we keep up with each other's projects. A lot of us are in the same quilt groups on Fandom and Stitches and in other places. A lot of us do quilt-alongs together. There are not just quilters, we have knitters and crocheters and people who do painting and all kinds of neat stuff. So if you do something else and you feel like this maybe isn't the place for you, we do have people who make bags and people who do, you know, make shrinky dinks and do, you know, all kinds of stuff. We do all kinds of stuff. I don't just make quilts, I just make quilts most of the time. So everyone who makes anything is welcome to join us. So that is all for me. You guys have a wonderful week. You have a crafty week, and stop by Fandom and Stitches next week for the next row and our Star Trek row along. That's it. You guys have a wonderful week. Bye.